Hello, everyone. Corrie here, coming in to do the energy update for the new moon energy that's coming and the solar eclipse that's going to be on the 8th of April. But of course, this is being recorded on the weekend. So on April the 5th, 2024, we have so much energy happening. I just feel everything is breaking apart and breaking open. Um, I got this overwhelming sense of like major earthquakes, and it's like we just get the one rumble and then in comes another rumble. And there's a lot of movement and shifting, and that includes happening within the planet and within Earth, and on Earth. And so there's just a lot of this energy. I feel like we expect more of it over the weekend and going into next week. There seems to be even more of that energy that is presenting itself or revealing itself out there. I can feel the rumble. It was this early this morning. I'm like, something is going on. I can feel like this panic attack, this anxiety type of feeling that I got, like something is wrong. Like I always get it when the earth is opening, when the earth breaks open, it always comes. And so I can feel that earth breaking open energy. Um, and so we also have this being in Aries, this solar eclipse and this new moon energy is all in Aries. It is a part of the sequence of events of the eclipse season that we are also in. And the solar eclipse says, there's a lot of chatter and a lot of talk about be prepared, like, make sure you have food, stock up, anything could happen. Sometimes, things like this can be the distraction, and we're being distracted about something bigger, something that's beyond. And so they'll get us to not to be pay, to get us to look elsewhere. They'll like, this is the big thing that's in our face, but there's always something else behind it. That's the energy that is speaking to me right now. That there's, this may be what we're seeing. This may be the event that's coming, but there is events that are happening. It's like having a private party. It's like they'll have one big party and invite everybody, and then there's a little secret party behind the scenes. So there's something happening behind the scenes. There's mischievous and I want to say some malicious kind of energy that's behind there, but there's also some deceptive energy. So there is a possibility of deceptive energy that is playing out. I can it turns a different color. It's very different. It's very visual. It has a different visual appearance. It looks different. It looks very different. It moves differently, and that energy is sitting behind the eclipse energy, and it's kind of hidden in disguise. And so there is that. So that's on a world scale. Bring that into us, and when we get into us, when we go into ourselves, is that if we bring that into ourselves, is that this may be activating and triggering the essence of the not so pretty self, the attitudes that kind of get in the way, the thoughts that may trickle in for us sometimes. But it can also be the motivating energy. It can be something that really motivates us. So if we go through a betrayal, if things are exposed to us, so let's say, for example, in relationships, if you are just finding out a whole lot of things that you didn't know about your life, about your relationships, maybe about your childhood. It could be about anything, could be around work, could be anywhere like that. Then, and you feel that sense of like, why didn't I know? How come nobody told me? Or I did know and I just didn't want to see it. And it's like, you can't unsee it. So there is something that is in movement. There is something that is moving, that is shifting that energy, that says that, if there is an unstable relationship, if there's something that's very unstable within your life, that you've been trying to make it appear like it's good, like it's perfect, like it's working, that there's going to be a disruption. There could possibly be a disruption that breaks that fairy tale dream story that you tell yourself, and you may find out something very different. You may find out that things are not as you think they are. So it does, and it just feels like earth shattering sometimes when we have to find out a truth, but we don't realize that that is so that we can close a door and open new doors. And so there may be these revelations come in. You may also be experiencing finding things out, like getting final clarity, getting to know a situation or people better may also appear. It may be when secrets reveal itself. There's just so much of these things that are just playing out behind here. But I am picking up with this eclipse that, there's it's not what we can, it's not in the obvious. There's a lot of things that are happening within this weekend with around us that are not in the obvious. It's like how life is always changing, evolving, but you can't see the obvious. It's like, oh, well, there's the walls, but you can't see that the walls are actually moving. Like everything is in movement. There's motion happening. So there's a lot of not so obvious energy around too. So it's where often, things can slip into our awareness, or people can kind of get behind your back and just, you didn't see it coming. The things you just don't see coming. And so we're going to be experiencing in the energy things that we just didn't see coming. So that ties it also back into the betrayal, but that also ties into good things. So we also got, when we get this, it's not to be afraid of it. It's just that this is here, but it also brings good things. You probably just can't see a good opportunity coming. If you're on your down and out, if you're in a state of humility, in your low moment, everything has been a struggle forever, you just can't see that there's something good coming. And that there may be the day, the time, where you just couldn't see that there was a good opportunity. You just couldn't see that there was good people. So maybe you may just be the sunshine in somebody else's life, or someone may be the sunshine in your life, where you may discover something so beautiful in life, or an opportunity, an abundance may come in. Uh, a holiday may show up, like something may show up for you, and it's there, it's in the energy. And sometimes it takes us believing and expect the unexpected, and also expect good things to happen. What's wrong with expecting good things to happen? So we're all expecting, not all, but the energy is out there that is in the fear story that speaks about being prepared for the worst. What about if we be prepared for the best? What if we prepared for the best? That on the other side of this, through this, behind the scenes, there is something that is working for the best case scenario, a beautiful situation working out. Sometimes getting to clear the closets and clear the junk and clear the secrets means that we get to have an even better relationship, even healthier relationship. When we see these things, they're not always that it's about destruction. It's about resolve. It's about release. It's about surrendering. It's about letting go. And when we can let go, and we can just let go of a situation, or finally be free of the things that block us from being able to let the light flow and good thing flows, then it frees us up and it lightens our load. And so it lightens the load, and then we get to have a lighter load. Now, I do have the sense of, I've been seeing this for a while, but I keep seeing like a floodgate of water coming in, kind of dampening the fire, dampening the flame. So that feels like a water type storm to me. It could be a pile of rain, it could be snow, it could be tsunami type of weather, but I do see it's out there. I see it coming in. I mean, if you don't live in a place where there's no chance of getting tsunamis, you wouldn't be sitting around worrying if there's a tsunami happening. That's just not, but that's like, there's just a tsunami. And so that tsunami of energy is like, oh God, it could be a bunch of good things coming in. It could be just this floodgate of good energy. It could be a floodgate of light and love. It could be all of a sudden you don't get one offer of a date, you get like 5 offers of a date, and you get to choose. It could be just all of a sudden, everything just starts going very well in your life, where life has just been challenging, and it could be that turnaround. In these times, it do cause us to be agitated. It brings up irritation. This of course brings us into the great awakening, a great change. When we have an aha moment, is that those aha moments are those awakening moments that just says, no, wow, I'm done. No, don't need to do this again. Or it could be where we finally get, this dream come in, or this this knowing that we just like it just there's just eureka moments that also comes with this, just having those eureka moments, just rising up into those eureka moments. I'm also picking up so much of very strong masculine energy, and that of course would be with the Aries energy. Aries very much ties into the masculine, and of course we have a shift happening within the planets that is always happening as well, that affects, we have Libra, and Libra's playing a big mastering role in the energies right now. And so wherever Libra sits, but we also have, I just keep seeing this. I keep seeing, even though I know we're in an Aries season, but I keep seeing the floodgate of the water energy. So I don't know in astrology of where the way I'm seeing it and the way they're showing it to me, is there is a floodgate of water coming in, and it does tie into the planets, or ties into, I feel like I'm really tying into like the Pisces energy, Cancer energy. I don't know where Scorpio would be in this, but I guess Scorpio would be included too somehow, but I'm really picking up Piscean energy. And I know we just came out of Pisces, but for some reason I'm seeing this water come in, and a waterfall, just like a big waterfall. I'm seeing waterfalls, almost like there's an event happening around waterfalls, and seeing like all of these waterfalls and seeing all of these people and something happening, something going down, something happening. And I just hear voices, and I just got all of this chatter and all of this talk that is happening. So I don't know where that will, what that all resonates with, but it just keeps like it just coming in at me. It's coming in like crazy. And then I'm getting information from over here. So it's coming in from all sides and connecting in from all sides. We also have some sort of relief coming in. And I'll say this whole year is about total, like people in high places just falling. There's just this crumbling of higher authority, like that sense of playing God. When people try to play God, that the love of power versus the power of love. And I don't know why, but I feel like we're seeing much more of that in the coming days and through this. And I just keep getting the Bonnie Tyler song, Total Eclipse of the Heart. And when there is that total eclipse of the heart, with a total eclipse and all that's happening, is that you can't look directly at the solar eclipse. You're not supposed to look directly at it. Can cause you harm to your eyes. But I'm seeing that eclipse energy in our hearts as well. And I just feel like it's bringing us closer to being able to live from our hearts, to open our hearts. A sense of forgiveness also ties into this energy as well, and making that shift, opening up the passages, like pathways opening. I see destruction around passages, ways of passage through past, like old passages, old pathways closing and new pathways opening up. Visibility is coming in, and that a feeling like, if you have felt very invisible, is where there is the everything is being cleared so that you can be clearly seen by the right people, the right things, the right situations, so that if you've been kind of put in the back, a lot of light workers and have really been pushed back into like a rest stage, and now it's like the path is clearing and opening back up and being able to be seen again. And that's also playing out, not just in this weekend, not just with the eclipse, but it follows us all the way through until April, the end of April. There is a big magnitude of energy that's like very magnetic, and there's a big magnetic pull. And that work of working opposites, right? It's like we know this and we know that, and we work with this and we work with that, and being able to use both light and dark, being able to have the yeses and the nos, and then new contemplation. So if you've been really contemplating choices and decisions and doing something new, is that I feel like, that consulting with yourself, life coaching yourself, consulting with one side and the other side of yourself, really consulting and then coming back to the middle. And it is the way to being able to take that middle road, walk that middle road, make those middle choices, work from the middle. And this masculine energy, and like I said, it's very much being pulled. I feel like it's very much a big pull, because sometimes we need to get irritated. Sometimes we need to get that push. Sometimes we need to get, I call it love angry. We need to get that love angry. You have to remember we're worth it. We have to remember that we have value. We have to remember that we're not stupid. We're not dumb. We don't need to be talked down to. We don't need to be treated like we shouldn't know anything. And you're just feeling that rise of like, why don't treat me that way, right? Don't treat me that way. And just finding that voice, finding that courage, finding that strength. So there is this strong, like, warrior kind of energy, taking a stand, standing up, do the right thing. So you're seeing a lot more of that energy also take place as well. Our world is just so full of so much energy, but we remember we exist in a ball out in the middle of a big empty, big black hole, right? We exist in universe, and so we are in one of those balls. It's hard to be able to see ourselves like this, but if you were to see us, this is where we are, right? And we take for granted the safety. We take for granted that we think we're like this is it. Sometimes we believe, we're it. This is all we have. We live in this world, but our world is so big. But yet this is our world, and around us is all these other planets. So around us is all this other life. Around us is all this stuff, comets shooting at us, things coming at us, energy, but we're not attached to anything. If I let this go, this is going to hit the floor. We're being held by something. Something holds us. It is invisible, and it's the invisible forces. We have these invisible forces that also work and move us. What we can see move is ourselves. It's the tangible, it's the material within our lives that we see move. But what we can't see is the invisible forces. And so those invisible forces are working on our behalf, but it's also about new perspectives, being able to see beyond, see things, know that things are happening beyond what is visible, beyond what we can see. And so there is plans, decisions, choices, trying to change our world and change our lives that is happening without our permission and behind our back. So there's a lot of things that are taking place. And of course, this is a crystal ball. And, we can look into the ball, and we can see these things. But what is happening is that when we stop trying to see everything and with frustrations there, and we just go quiet and we go silent, and we can just let ourselves hear, feel, sense, is that we are gaining new perspectives. We're seeing things differently. And a huge part of this whole journey is for us to see ourselves more than landlocked on this ground, in this material world. That this material world that you exist in exists out there. That when you're looking up at the sky, you are up in the sky. You are not in the sky. You are up in the sky. You are up in with the stars. You are not with the stars. You are also up there too. It's just that you are in a ball. You're on a planet. And so there is much about the planets that is going to be really, truly revealing. And as the planets move, and so as everything moves around the planet, the sun moves, the moon moves, the energy shifts, as do you, and as do the people in your life. And so we're not here to stay the same. We're not here to keep the same thought. We're not here to be the same energy all the time. We are ever evolving and ever growing and ever moving. And that's what's happening. So if we've been stuck, stagnant, just like unwilling to make moves, is that the universe is going to be moving you. With or without you, there's moves happening. There's changes happening. Making no decision is making a choice. It's making a choice to be stuck, to be stagnant, making a choice to be oblivious, to not want to see anything. That's the choice, right? But yet it doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means we choose to neglect to see the things because we don't sometimes know how to handle those situations. We don't know how to be a different version of ourselves in difficult situations. And so all of this energy is here to help us to self-heal, to self-realize that we are so much more, and to help strengthen us so that we can be all that we need to be when our world breaks open. Our world breaking open gives us opportunities to grow, to evolve, to become more, to learn more, and there's just so much more for us. That's what I got for you today. So, like I said, there's a lot happening, there's a lot moving, there's a lot shifting. But just remember, we're getting all being distracted by seeing the solar eclipse, and this is what's happening. But there's something bigger that's going on, and there's bigger things that are happening. And it's like the surprise. So there's surprise packages, and it's like, don't be surprised when the surprise shows up in your face, and it's just like, oh, surprise, we just thought this would be better for you. So this is what we're doing, or this is what's happening. Yeah, no, I didn't want that. Didn't want that party. I didn't want this. I didn't want that. And so, we're being met with those surprise moments, whether we want them or not. They're there and they are existing around us. That's what I have for you. Have a beautiful new moon and a beautiful weekend. And I will see you next week, which I will probably talk more about the eclipse because, I'll probably be recording right around that time as well. Much love. If you love these videos, please subscribe. Hit the bell for the notifications, and you'll get all the updates as they come. Yeah, and you can check out all my work on CorrieThorne.com. All the information is in the link below. Much love. Bye-bye.